Welcome back, guys. This is, I guess, part two of our talk with Samuel of BQool. We had our part one in a different video. If you haven't seen it, please go back to the channel and you can see the initial conversation. But this is part two, and this is where Samuel is going to really hit the crux of what I'm excited about, and that's all the new features that BQool has brought out and is putting out there for sellers to use. So Samuel, I know you guys have been working hard behind the scenes, and you guys have a lot of different features. Or you? I don't know if you have time to go through all of them, but at least some of the major ones, if you can touch on those.
Yes, Ahmad, we have a lot of new features. I'm really excited to share them with you. And I'll be talking about some of the most important ones because there's too many to share in the time that we have. So the first one, we talked a little bit in the other video about the inventory age, about all those things. This is the conditional repricing that we talk about. And in conditional repricing, basically, you're able to switch between different repricing rules. Yeah, so you can switch between different AI repricing rules. You can switch between different rule-based repricing rules based on the market conditions. Market conditions would be like, let's say, available stock, your inventory age, your sell-through rate for item, whether you're winning a buy box or not. There's also a lot of other specific conditions and building blocks that you can build. So I'll just quickly show you what that looks like in our software. So to find the conditional repricing rules, we go to add new rules, and we have 4 different type of repricing rules. We have the AI powered win buy box, which will aggressively help you get the buy box. We have the AI powered match buy box. These will go above the buy box. It would never undercut the buy box. So that's the difference between the two of them. I might ask you later again, Ahmad. Yeah. And then we have the 5 default rule base that comes in our software. And we also have the conditional repricing as well. So for the conditional repricing, we talked about the inventory age. There's also other ones, for example, the historic days of supply conditions. This is for low inventory items. So whether you have too few items, Amazon's going to charge you for that, or you have too many items, Amazon's going to charge you for storage as well. We have a solution for you. And then we have videos that teaches you exactly how to go through them. I'll just pick one example just to show people. So we have also the advanced conditions here. Let me just show you one example just to see you the capabilities. So whether you're a seasoned seller, you've been selling for many years, or you want to automate, you want to speed up things for you, this will be very useful. So for this one here, basically these are like building blocks. So it's like, if this happens, then this happens. For here, let's say we use available quantity, for example. So let's say I have more than 50 that are available, then I can pick a repricing rule. So let's say for me, 50 is quite a bit. So I put it on a more aggressive repricing rule, the AI sales booster, and then I can add another one here. So I can pick all these different options. I can pick again the available quantity. And here, I can pick, let's say, if I have less than 50, then I'm going to go on like the AI equalizer. I'm going to slow down my sales so I can actually get more profits for each one of them per unit. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I can also reduce my min prices as well. Let's say if I have more than 50 in stock, I can lower my price, and then we have a lot of different options here, right? You can go by FBA lowest price. You can pick estimated ROI. There's so many different options that you can pick and customize. And then with the last block here is when none of the above conditions are met. Okay, so let's say if I have 0, then this is not going to reprice. But I think most of the conditions will be met here. But so here we just set it just in case if none of those conditions you set have been met. You could also even go more granular. For example, I could add a sub-conditions. So I could put like, if I have more than 50 units, in the last 7 days, I have sold more than, let's say, 15. Okay, well, actually, in the last 7 days, I have sold less since we're going more aggressive. I've sold less than, let's say, 10 units in the last 7 days. Then I can put this specific reaction. Yeah, so that's what it is. Like it's building blocks, conditional repricing, and we have like a lot of different combinations. From your experience, Ahmad, what do you think, other than the inventory age for you, are there other ones that you looked at, like other metrics that are important for you as a 7-figure seller?
Yeah, so you have a lot of um, suppliers or a lot of products in your SKUs, a lot of sellers do, where they might not be able to replenish it quickly or at all, right? So you've gotten, it's Q4 right now. So at the end of Q4, there's always amazing sales, and arbitrage sellers often just go out and just buy a ton of really low price products that they can then sell the following year. So if you only have a limited quantity of a specific ASIN, the conditional pricing really comes into play because you want to maximize your profit as much as possible with the quantity that you have. So you can say, if in the last 10 days I have sold this many, raise my price, raise my min to this. If in the last 50 days I've not sold any, lower my price. And this way you're not just sort of sitting there stuck wondering when is it going to sell, or you run out of it really fast because you priced it too low. So by doing the conditional repricing on things that you can't necessarily get the same price again for those products, it really helps you to maximize your profits.
Yeah, absolutely. So what Ahmad is saying is, if you have a limited quantity and you want to get more sales, not only can you lower your prices for your min, you can actually raise your prices for your min prices as well. That's the other way around. If you want to get more profit per unit based on available units that you have. So yeah, that's definitely a great tip. So you're able to do that as well. And we have a lot of different videos that teaches you exactly what to do, exactly how to do the settings, step-by-step tutorials. So yeah, we'll talk more about that. Another new update that we had is the AI match buy box repricing rules. Yeah, so earlier we talked about the conditional repricing, and then now, if we move back a little bit, we have what we call the AI-powered match buy box. So if you have a profitable product, or let's say you have a product that you can't get the same deal anymore, in this case, it might be suitable for you to put it on, something that only reprices only to the buy box price. Yeah, it doesn't go any lower. So you're not undercutting to try to get the buy box. You might not even care about the buy box. You just want to get sales at a high price. So in that particular situation, there's two things you can do. One, you adjust your min prices like we talked about earlier. Two, you use the AI-powered match buy box. And then inside the AI-powered match buy box, there's also what we call price looping. Some people call it yo-yo. We call it price looping for us. And then we have that built into our AI repricer. So let me just show you this unique feature that we have here. So I'm inside the repricing rules. I go to AI-powered match buy box, and I'm going to select, let's say, the AI match grow profit here. Okay, and then I go to next, and I'm going to have a lot more options. What is particularly strong about our repricer is it allows you to have more customization. Basically, just think about the different, like AI-powered win buy box. Those are like different type of AI agents. They're designed. So let's say you're using like Gemini, and you have different, you have fast, you have, thinking. So it's kind of like different models that you have. For us, AI-powered win buy box is when you're aggressively going for sales. That's your main objective. For the AI-powered match buy box, you're aggressively going for profits. And then so you can also mix and match because they have different levels as well. So in the AI-powered match buy box, we have this price looping feature. So for every 3 hours or so, you can increase your prices. In our case, we would recommend you could use 3 hours, buy box plus 10%. And then you could actually keep it there for maybe 30 minutes, or even in some cases up to an hour. That's what we've heard from our users. And then after that, it goes back into your original price. So you're proactively trying to raise the price proactively, even if there's no competitors. So if you're not getting competitors, there's no SQS, you can still proactively try to raise your prices. And if somebody has it in the checkout already, if somebody is looking, maybe they would buy it. This would be suitable to do if for items that you have a competitive advantage of, or for products that you just really want to get more profit from. So that's the use case for it. And then there's other settings. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. I think on that specific point, the thing that really sets that apart from everything else is usually, especially if there's just two sellers, this often happens where both sellers are using a repricer, and that repricer is designed with a min and a max, and they're battling each other. The repricers are battling each other. And so if you don't have this set where you're not having this loop of raising your price every 3 hours, you're now just battling to the bottom, to the highest min price that one of those two sellers have. But if one of them loops this back up by 10%, 20%, 50%, and there's only one other seller, their repricer is going to follow you, right? It's going to raise the price up. They're going to try to keep the buy box, but it starts that race to the bottom at a higher level. And so you're constantly raising the bar and raising the price so that you can get more and more profits off of every sale.
Yeah, so you're actually helping the market, right? Like if there's not too many competitors, you're raising your prices, somebody will follow you up.
Yeah, you're
And
not
so the
helping
price,
the buyer, you're helping the sellers. Yes.
you're helping the sellers. Yeah,
Yes.
that's for sure.
Level
Yeah, and
one.
Amazon's helping the sellers all the time, right? So
The
yeah,
buy
you,
and
you,
sell
you
side.
need to help.
Yes.
We need to help the Amazon sellers as well. The
Exactly.
Amazon sellers, they need that profit, right? Especially when a lot of fees are increasing, shipping costs, referral fees, you name it. So another feature we have here is when the buy box is suppressed. So a lot of other repricers out there, I won't mention any names, they only have one option, right? So when the buy box is suppressed, and we know because we're doing AI repricing, what the AI is going to try to do is going to try to unsuppress it. So how do they unsuppress the suppressed buy box? Well, it's very simple. You lower the price. So you keep lowering and lowering and lowering the price until you can unsuppress the buy box. So if you don't want to tank the price for items that there's no buy box, then for sure you need the setting. And you can then decide what you want to do. You want to, if let's say an FBA seller, I could go FBA lowest price or FBA certain price plus a certain amount or a certain percentage. So the reason it's important, you can have more control because when there's no buy box and you go to other sellers, if you're too high, you're going to be very, very low when you're scrolling down. So we generally, recommend that you can have more control depending on what you would like to do. You can decide with all of these different settings. They're very particular and the design for when people don't have the buy box. And then also we have options when, let's say if you are selling used products, right? Like, so there's the used buy box is different than the new buy box. And then you can actually price differently based on the different conditions. And what is useful for this is for returns, because there's a lot of products that are going to be returned after the holidays. Did you know up to 20-30% of clothing items will be returned? So I buy a shirt for my son, for my daughter. They're like, oh, I don't like it. It's not XYZ brand. Or, I want the latest, newest, and that style, or the fit doesn't look good. I don't like those shoes. They're going to return the product. So when it returns the product, Amazon will grade the product, whether it's sellable, whether it's disposable, or whether there's 3 different options. But if it's sellable, our repricer will automatically know that this is a used product, and it will start repricing for you as well. So we also have repricing for used products. And then there's other options. And one last one I want to mention here is that you could actually decide who you want to compete against, whether you want to compete with only FBA sellers or FBM sellers. So sometimes, the FBM seller has a much lower price because they're not having to pay those Amazon fees. They don't have to pay the referral. They don't have to pay the Amazon fulfillment fees. And then so in that case, if you're an FBA seller, maybe you want to exclude them. You don't want to compete with the FBM seller. Maybe you don't want to compete with Amazon because Amazon has a price really, really low until they're out of stock, and then you can sell your product. So these are some of the very important features we want to show. Ahmad, in your experience, are there times when you want to exclude certain type of sellers that you don't want to compete with?
Absolutely. When you're, the easiest case study is when you're the only FBA seller, right? If you don't want to compete with FBM sellers because you can get the buy box at a much higher price point than an FBM has. There's always going to be that threshold where if you go too high, then FBM is going to get the buy box. But generally speaking, when you're just the only seller on a listing and there's 5 other FBM sellers, you can raise your price higher than the lowest FBM sellers and you can still get the buy box.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. So you're able to do that with our repricer, very particular. And yeah, you have all these different options, both for any of our plans. Yeah, you're able to do that. Starting at $25. Yeah, these are some advanced AI repricing features that are available at a price that is at a price point for all the sellers. Yeah, so we want to have something that's available for everybody. I want to show one more new feature because there's too many that there's to show. So another feature I want to talk a little bit about is the reduced profit range. For the reduced profit range, I don't know if your audience, they're familiar with it, and maybe we can refresh the memory. Basically, at certain prices, Amazon will charge you more referral fees. And at certain prices, Amazon will charge more fulfillment fees as well. One of the examples that we like to use, let's go back to this grocery item. Let's say if I was selling it at $10, then Amazon's only going to charge me 8% in this beauty category. But if I raise the price to $10.01, they're going to charge me 15% on the referral fees. So I actually make a lot less profit because I'm getting charged a lot more. And because that percentage is actually charged on the total sales price. I mean, a lot of people, right? Like when they ask me, right? Like, I want to sell on Amazon. And I'm like, well, you need to check, right? Because like Amazon's going to take a percentage of the whole sales. It's not just like on your profit, it's the whole sales. So it's going to be part of your running cost. What are your thoughts in your past? Like, because before back in the days, there was like a small and light program. So people would use a small and light program because they could pay less fees to Amazon. Have you done a lot of that before in the past, or what have you heard from other people?
And most sellers don't really take the time to understand the referral percentages that Amazon charges. Beauty category is a great example. The grocery category is another example where if you sell for $14.99 or lower, you're paying a much smaller referral fee than if you go above $15. And like you said, it matters, right? It matters if you have a product that you're selling at $15, $16 in the grocery category, you can make more money by bringing that price down to $14.50, right? Because you're paying less to Amazon, so more of it, even though your sell price is lower, because you're giving Amazon a lot less of your money, your profit number is going to be much higher.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have this built into our AI repricer. It's turned on by default. So yeah, you could turn it off if you want, but we recommend keeping it on. Yeah. And so there's a lot more features. We also have another one, which it's actually what it is. It's called the analyzer, the ROI instant analyzer. So you can instantly see how much ROI, how much profit you are when you're changing your min and max prices, and also what your selling price is. So everything is crystal clear, and you're able to know how much profit you're getting. So it really helps you with these numbers. I think for everyone who's watching this, right? Like the number one thing is, you should, instead of listening to me talk about this, you should try it out for yourself, right? Try it out, see if it works for you. In Ahmad's place, like, has it worked for you and people that you know? Yeah.
Without a doubt. It's a game changer. If you haven't used a repricer before, or if you've used a repricer that doesn't have all the accurate rules and it's not AI powered, this will be a game changer for you. Absolutely.
And then when you use these different features, did it help you increase your sales and also your profits?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point of using a repricer, right? If it doesn't help you increase your sales, that's not the right repricer for you.
The most important thing, after hearing we talk about this for a while, is to start a free trial. And actually, there's no credit card that's needed. So you can actually try it out absolutely free. You can check it out. So make sure to use Ahmad's link below. And we do have something very special for the people who are watching this, who's taking the time. We do have a special offer for Ahmad's community. Yeah, so this is a special offer we have. We're going to give 50% off. We don't do this everywhere. It's not public. It's not anywhere. 50% off for your first month on the plans that are $50 and above. Yeah, so with $50, you could use a conditional repricing. You could use the AI match buy box with the price looping. You can use all the features from the $25, and you have much more AI listings as well. So and we don't cap you on all your sales. So that's a really important point. So at 50% off, you'll only be paying $25 for the first month. And this offer is not going to last forever. We're going to give this to you for 2 months. After this video is published, 2 months afterwards. So that's a special offer. We appreciate Ahmad. We loved hearing his recommendations, his suggestions, continue to build the repricer better. And we appreciate his friendship. So this is a very special offer that's available for the people you're watching this channel right now. Yeah. So thank you, Ahmad. Yeah. Thanks for having us on the channel today.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.